NathanIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised arms, closed fists, yeah, too strong. Team NI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome back to the Nathan Ivy Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Good morning. Let's get into it. Many things to discuss this morning. And excuse me for being just a little bit anti-social. Just a little bit anti-social this morning. Now, did you know that the nation's oldest civil rights organization endorsed an Ohio ballot initiative just yesterday? If you live in Ohio, in particular, this might interest you. If you live in Ohio. And the initiative is aimed at streamlining the state's voting process. The NAACP Ohio's conference announced that its backing for the Ohioans for Secure and Fair Elections measure just yesterday. Had a big press conference and everything. If the voters approve the proposal, Ohioans would be automatically registered to vote when conducting business at a state bureau of motor vehicles. And early voting locations will have to be open on the 2 weeks prior to Election Day, which would allow eligible voters to register and to vote on the same day. What do you think about that, Choppers? Good morning to you as you come into the room. The requirement that voters be registered during the BMV trips unless they opt out is also part of pending House and Senate legislation. Right? So here it is, Ohio on the cutting edge of this. NAACP says, listen, we're behind it. What do you think about that? You think that's a good idea? In a statement yesterday at the press conference, Tom Roberts said that the NAACP sees the campaign as a quote-unquote necessary step to modernizing Ohio's elections. What is your first reaction? I'd like to give you some thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well at 513-873-7134. Good morning to you. Nate Ivy in the air chair. Have you heard the comments, a little bit of a controversy surrounding an NBA player? He plays for the New York Knicks, the Knackers. He plays for the New York Knackers. Plays for the Knackers. His name is Marcus Morris. He actually has an identical twin brother that plays in the league as well. You know what I'm saying? He got a brother in the league. And there's a little bit of a scuffle at a game last night between two players, Elfrid Payton and Jay Crowder, who used to be with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I'm saying? He was the brother with the mane. And then afterward, Marcus Morris, he starts making comments about another player named Jay Crowder. And he said, quote, he's got a lot of female tendencies on the court, flopping and throwing his head back. He's soft, very woman-like. So Marcus Morris referred to another male NBA player, Jay Crowder, as being woman-like. And what do you think happened? Well, Twitter reminded him to step into the 21st century. Chad Jones on Twitter wrote, play like women, ? My women's team is tougher than your NBA team. Maybe you need some female tendencies and you could win a few games. So now he's being criticized because in the modern world, you cannot refer to being a female in a derogatory way. Now, as a man, I understand what he's trying to say. What do you think about it? I want to get your thoughts. 513-873-7134. Again, if you'd like to share your thoughts, feel free to do so. Feel free to do so. Good morning to you, because you come into the show. Good morning. I want to talk about self-checkout. You might get the coronavirus at the self-checkout line. You might need to do something about that. More on Dr. Umar's theory about Kobe. People are coming out of woodworks to criticize him, saying that, basically he was insensitive. And I went back and looked at it again. And I understand that he's raising money for his academy. Speaking of Dr. Umar Johnson. But him linking, a donation to his video on the theory of Kobe, I thought was just, this is why I should contribute to your academy so you can give us outlandish theories about dead icons. And he's being dragged, roasted. My brother-in-law, from what I haven't talked to him, but I was talking with the wifey. Apparently, this has caught his attention. He sent me the video. I had already seen it by then. And as I said, I'll say it again. There was some type of lawsuit or litigation between Kobe and a pharmaceutical company. But I don't think that dies with Kobe. Speaking of which, his wife, Vanessa Bryant, broke media silence within the last 24 hours. And she put out a statement saying basically she was numb. She was numb. Quote, there aren't enough words to describe our pain right now. I take comfort in knowing that Kobe and Gigi both knew that they were so deeply loved. We were so incredibly blessed to have had them in our lives. I wish they were here with us forever. They were our beautiful blessings taken from us too soon. I'm not sure what our lives hold beyond today, and it's impossible to imagine life without them. But we wake up each day trying to keep pushing because Kobe and our baby girl Gigi are shining us to light the way. And she writes, our love for them is endless. It goes on a bit, but that's, wow. That's just, you lose your husband and you lose your daughter. And you've got they got a newborn. I don't think their youngest daughter is, and I know Kobe was probably trying for a boy. He got 4 girls. He's Kobe, alpha male. He was like, girl, we're going to keep trying till we get Kobe Jr. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at an image of him now, off the whole family together. Just beautiful family. It's just very, very difficult. She put that out on Instagram. See, in the old days, she would call up and see it works both ways in terms of the celebrity thing. Like, people can say, these media outlets are supposed to call the family and they didn't call the family. But when the family puts out a statement, they usually put it out on their own personal social media these days. Back in the day, they would contact their favorite media outlet and do it through them. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing it themselves. 13-year-old daughter. I got a 14-year-old daughter. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine having a child that's in your life for 13 years and then they're just gone suddenly? That's tough right there. That's tough. That's very tough. Very tough to deal with. As you come into the show this morning, I want you to ponder these various questions I put on the table and tell us what you think. You know, the currency of the show is your opinion. And again, if you want to share it and vocalize it, 513-873-7134. But of course, as always, you can take a free ride on my thoughts. No doubt about it. As always, please feel free to do so. Good morning to you. Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Again, circling back around, the NAACP is endorsing an Ohio ballot initiative that's aimed at streamlining the state's voting process. And some have said that it's a step in terms of modernizing Ohio's elections. And this is going to come before the voters. If the voters in Ohio approve, Ohioans will be automatically registered to vote when conducting business at the State Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Now, why is that important? Well, because I think that's an important step. You know, I bet you there's some people who, once you pass that deadline for voter registration that we always talk about and we try to remind people, get registered. I bet you there's some people that have like non-voter registration remorse. They're like, damn, I didn't know that. Because a lot of stuff comes out sometimes right before those, you know, the day you actually come in to vote. They could sway people's opinion. And then if people are already registered to vote and you can do one-day voting, well, that opens the door for people that, you know, could take some last bit of information and feel propelled or feel, you know, really like, you know, really now indebted, or they really want to vote. It could be like a last minute thing. Like currently you can't do that. Like if you're not, the last minute is the last date of voter registration. And why not? Why not? If you do any business at the State Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Now, would that leave some people out? Who would that leave out? Would that exclude? How would this impact the black community? How do you think this would impact African Americans that live in Ohio? Do you think that if this passes, that we'll see an increase in the amount of people that come out to vote? I like the idea of opening the last 2 weekends prior to election day. I mean, that just makes perfect sense to me, but we shall see. We shall see. That's the state of Ohio. I like it. Why not? You know, why not? Makes perfect sense to me. What's up? I've got no problem with it. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. I think it's a great idea, actually. Make it happen. So I'm driving on Reading Road yesterday. I look up. It's right before the intersection on Reading Road and Martin Luther King. I was northbound. And I was driving in the block right before you get to the Martin Luther King intersection. And I look up on the right, and I see Kobe Bryant. And it was like somebody had paid to, or whoever had put up like a Kobe Bryant, like, "We will miss you" memorial. I'm thinking, damn, we all the way in Cincinnati. We're all the way in Cincinnati. People still, you know, showing their respects and recognizing this brother. So it's very, very interesting. I mean, and more information is coming out about the pilot. More information is coming out about the helicopter. You know what I'm saying? I was chopping up last night just talking about this. Like what I found out and what the world has found out within the last 24 hours is that the helicopter that Kobe Bryant was being transported in, along with his daughter and 7 other individuals. And that's no disrespect to them. Again, that's just, it is what it is, you know. But we found out that the helicopter that they were traveling in, that it did not have a whole lot of like safety measures. Like it didn't have like a certain radar that would detect when you get close to the ground. And it didn't have a certain radar that would allow it to, like, I don't know, have visibility in the fog. and it didn't have a black box and it didn't have any kind of recording device, I'm thinking you're Kobe freaking Bryant. You got hundreds of millions. Why are you not, traveling in the most state-of-the-art helicopter that there is? I don't get it. And so my question is like, was that Kobe's regular helicopter? I just can't believe that's the helicopter that Kobe regularly was being transported in. And it has none of these safety measures. And it has none of the recording devices to ascertain what might have happened if there's a crash whatsoever. And you're Kobe Bryant. I mean, what is this, a Uber copter? A budget copter? I mean, damn. This is what you get with a private helicopter? I just can't, I don't know. I guess he was frugal. I guess. But to me, it just seems like, I don't know. So my question is, was that Kobe Bryant's regular helicopter? Not to feed into any of the conspiracy theories, because I know it kind of does. But I'm just saying. I mean, if I'm Kobe Bryant and I'm in a helicopter with me and my peoples, man, we going. I want what was the name? It used to be like a television show about a helicopter pilot. And apparently every episode he would get into some kind of like, I don't know, mid-air exchange or some shit. It was something like Blue Wolf or some shit like that. And dude, like every episode, he just had a nemesis that also had a helicopter. You know what I'm saying? But it was like the best helicopter ever. It was top infrared, and it could go underwater. Not really, but it could do all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking that's the kind of helicopter that I would be traveling on a regular basis. I mean, if you got hundreds of millions, I mean, what else would you spend it on? You dig what I'm saying? I'm not trying to kick up anything with Dr. Umar, because I think Dr. Umar was just kind of being irresponsible. I think he was doing an infomercial for his FDMG Academy. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, FDMG. So, yeah, I got it today, don't I? Yeah. Research. Yeah. Oh, boy. It's a beautiful Thursday. It really is. I see the choppers are inside the chop shop. Hey, good morning to you. How was your last 24 hours? Ohioans for secure and fair elections. That's the name of it. If voters approve it, Ohioans would be automatically registered to vote when conducting business at the State Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Now, we know black people vote because they always getting pulled over and getting ticketed. So would this have, you go down to traffic court, man. You go down to traffic court in Hamilton County, you sit down there. If you didn't get out and drive in these streets, you would think that there are no white drivers because there's nothing but black folks down there. But anyway, so we know, would that have an impact, a positive impact, not just in registered voters, because obviously it would, but in people who actually come out to vote? I think it would. I think part of the hurdle is getting people registered. And then once they're registered, I think the biggest distance is getting them registered. Once they're registered, I think it's a shorter distance to trying to get them to actually, come out and vote. That's just me. I could think differently. You might think differently. But do you think that this would have a positive impact? And by positive, I mean it would increase the voter turnout in the African-American community. I did just a little bit of checking. And in 2017, we had city council race, right? Because this is the last 4-year terms, because the business community got together and said, you know what? Y'all motherfuckers got too much power down here, asking us questions about development and the FC Cincinnati. You know what? We're going to reduce your terms for 2-year terms. Yeah. So now we'll keep you caught up with a year and a half of your. I mean, think about that now. The rationale between going from 2-year terms to 4-year terms is that we wanted council to spend more time being council. And in my observation, that's exactly what they've been doing, because they've been spending less time campaigning. But the other part about that is that when they go before the voters every 2 years, it holds them more accountable. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the business community got together and said, you know what? But in that election, 7 out of 10 registered folks stayed home. 7 out of 10 eligible voters didn't even vote in 2017 in city council. 7 out of 10. Why? And will we see a difference if something like this is put in place? I don't know. I've got my thoughts. What do you think? What's up with you? Good morning. Cassandra writes, hey, Choppers. Hey, good morning to you, Cassandra. Brenda writes, happy Thursday. Damn, it is Thursday. We go so fast. Pat writes, good morning. Good to see you, Pat. Ray writes, grand risings all. So my son says he wants to play basketball now, right? So, okay, I've been waiting for this. And we took him to a couple of games, and he has no idea what he's doing whatsoever. And I'm cool with that initially because I want him to get his conditioning up and just get out there. But now we're at the phase where we got to go to the next phase, which means daddy-son time at the park. And, oh, man, thank you. You friends again? No? We're not friends? Oh, my God. So you got to when you and your wife ain't friends, but you're really friends, that kind of thing. So I took him to the park yesterday. It's cold, but it was perfect. And he's out there shooting shots, trying to hit the rim. And we ended up being out there longer than I thought. I thought we'd be out here 30 minutes. This boy didn't want to leave. He was determined to make a shot. He never did. He got close a bunch of times. But he was determined. Just saw his little face. I was a proud father out here trying hard and all this kind of stuff. It was beautiful. All right, to 513-873-7134. I think I've thrown the number out quite a bit. I want to get to the choppers. How about we do that? Ray writes, grand risings all. Mike Davis writes, rise and shine, young stars. Good to see you, Mike. Good to see you. Fame Rothstein's back. He writes, good morning, choppers. I came here for something funky to happen. Christmas just passed, but everybody's rapping. Hashtag alt middle is for the children. Yes, forgot to end. Hey, what's up? I see Ashley's in the house. Good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Hey, good morning to you. Terrence Graxon's in the house. Good morning to you, brother. He writes, good morning, everyone. Mike Davis writes, my high school had all seniors registered to vote in civics class. I love it. Now, whoever that civics teacher was, I like that kind of thinking. Yes, your vote matters. Your vote matters. You got the primaries coming up here in the end of March. And, oh, man, you got a lot of really important races like Hamilton County prosecutor. I'm happy to see Gabe Davis has not stopped at all. His stride has not been broken after the Democrats endorsed Fanon Rucker. Now, in that case, you got two Democrats, both African-American males, Fanon Rucker and Gabe Davis, who are running for the Democrat, position to be the Democrat candidate to go up against longtime incumbent Joe Dieters. Joe Dieters, who has black support. There are black men who support Joe Dieters. I've seen him take pictures with him. Then, of course, you got the Hamilton County Sheriff with Jim Neal, who is the incumbent white male, versus Charmaine McGuffey, white female. Now, interesting enough, Jim McNeil, what is this, his third term? And he's the incumbent. But he didn't get the Democrat support and endorsement. Charmaine McGuffey did for reasons we've discussed before. And when it comes to Hamilton County Commissioner, you've got a race there because longtime, well-known, politician Todd Portune stepped down. He's since passed away this past weekend. And in his wake, he appointed his longtime, chief of staff, Victoria Parks, who was a black female, to basically, hold his position until he can be replaced. And in that race, you've got Connie Pillage, who is a white female Democrat. You got Alicia Reese, who's a black female Democrat. And you got Kelly Prather, who's a black female Democrat, all wanting your vote. And in that particular race, as I understand it, there was no endorsement by the Democrat committee. Yeah, it's going down. It's going down. I mean, we haven't even talked about county recorder, right? We haven't talked about the state reps. Of course, in the Fighting 33rd, you got the incumbent, black male Cedric Denson, versus his challenger, black male Terrence Allen Braxton. And people are watching that. Also in state rep, you got Catherine Ingram against Dadrian Washington. Catherine Ingram is a black female. Dadrian Washington is a black male. Lots of things around. I mean, I'm going to go through all the comment, please. I want to talk about all the races with everybody. I want to talk about, the two. I'm going to talk to the two challengers, the two candidates for the Ohio Congressional First District. Of course, you got Nikki Foster there and Kate versus Kate Schroeder. Who's better? Who's better for us? And I wish somebody would beat Brad Winstrup. I really do. I'm sick of Brad Winstrup. I don't even want to see him anymore. You know, he's a Trumpster. No more Trumpsters. I ain't with it. Now, I just kind of glossed over it. I'll get in more details. But again, my endeavor is to talk to every single candidate. Every single candidate in every single race between now and the election. And you can take that information and do whatever you bounce it off of, use it with other information, other sources to make the very best decision. Made some more race more than Nate in the choppers. Hashtag Get Lit Nakers. We should have a Get Lit Nakers party. Nakers only. Brian Rice morning. Fame writes, rather tacky by Umar, if I do say so myself. Yeah, it was tacky. You know, the tackiest thing he did is at the very end of that video, he's like, oh, yeah, hit me up at the FMD Academy and with a donation. I'm like, so that's what this was all about? Come on, man. Come on, have some class, bro. Have some class. Like, to me, that's worse than what TMZ did. And so what Umar did is worse than what TMZ did. I wonder how Tracy feels about that. I don't know. That's much worse. You out here trying to make money? Come on now, Dr. Umar. Just all you got to do is put that video up. Don't make any mention about the donations and just do another video. That's all you got to do. Clue's in the house. He writes, good morning, Nate in the choppers. Good morning to you, Clue. CJ writes, good morning, all. Jared writes, good morning. Hashtag Team and I. Back in the Natty. Really? You back in the Natty, Jerry? What's up, man? We got to link up, brother. Let me know. Let me know. I appreciate the support. Speaking of which, please consider becoming a Patreon. Go to Nate. You can go to patreon.com/Nathan Ivy Show. And there is more exclusive content up. And you can check it out, including an update on an upcoming partner with the show. As a black female that has created a brand new vegan ebook. And, you know, it's so funny because 10, 15 years ago, I think a conversation like that, people might look at it a little bit, whatever. But from what I understand, man, black people are going vegan. People, period, are just much more health conscious today than they ever were. People looking at labels and concerned about the way that their meat is being butchered and delivered to them. People are thinking and considering vegan lifestyles more than ever. So an upcoming sponsor has created a brand new ebook with everyday recipes, because that's what gets you is the recipes. That's what gets you is the recipes. Like, do you have the recipes, right? And I know Ray's all over this. Like, you know, she probably like recipes. I got all this, but, you know, for just other folks, for civilians, you know what I'm saying? They may not have the recipes. Like, if you had a good working recipe that worked for you, I think you'd be more likely to maybe try it, to adopt it and incorporate it into your everyday, you know, what you eat on a regular basis. So I'm really excited about it and looking forward to an interview as well, which you'll hear here on the show. So a couple of things. So every Monday I'm doing an exclusive show just for my patrons. And then the first Wednesday of every month, a live stream via YouTube. The only way you'll get a chance to get that stream is through the link that I'll send to you. As well as upcoming behind the scenes stuff with Sand Digital and things I'm working on. And support, you know, independent media. Support new black media. Because we got damn real need it. We need it. If not us, who? You know, it's like that. Be the change you want to see. It's got to be like that. And so what I see in the future is a situation where, you know, I've been, if you want to say blessed or grinded or formed the relationships to, you know, create a flow of revenue through sponsors. But in a perfect scenario, you know, my relationship would be 100% to the audience, you know, 100% audience participation and financial support is my ultimate goal. And why? Well, because now I spend more time investing in you and less time in, and of course, I always continue to do this, in, you know, building the type of infrastructure and relationships, which it has its own sort of quid pro quo to it. And, you know, just being directly and 100% beholden and supported by listeners. I think that's my goal. That is my goal. And one way to do that is become a patron. Consider this morning. I'll post a link in a little bit, straight inside of the Chop Shop, and you can decide for yourself. Let's see here. As I'm searching, I'm going inside. So a couple of things. I've told you about the NAACP. I'm awaiting your comments on that. Do you think that's a good idea? And it's called the, again, for folks who want to look it up, the Ohioans for Secure and Fair Elections. Why not? It sounds like something we should have done a long time ago. Like most recently, I found out that it was a local news organization, I think it was WCPO, and they decided to stop using mugshots. And I thought, okay, that's good, but why are you still using mugshots in the world of Facebook? Like, most people have a Facebook account. Grab a photograph off the Facebook account. Why are you still using mugshots? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, we still doing that? And the same thing with our elections. I mean, you should be able to register and vote in the same day. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Because they're still going to double check your vote anyway. So what difference does it make? And I think it's because the political parties, and maybe we're talking about one political party in particular, the Republican Party here in Ohio. I don't really think they want an expansion of voter participation. Because new voters, an influx of new voters might harm and upset, you know, the delegate balance, so to speak. So I'm for early voting. You can vote up the two. Why? It makes no sense that they close down early voting like a week or two before Election Day. That makes no sense. Like, there's got to be a political motive that's designed to decrease the amount of people, new voters, that come out and vote. You know, you go get your driver's license or you go get your driver's permit, and while you're there, you motherfucker, you get registered to vote. It makes perfect sense. Now, there will leave some people out because people who don't drive. But I think that would be a significant step in increasing the voter rolls. I mean, you already got your government ID, so what's the difference? It makes perfect sense. But there's some folks out there that don't want to see that, because then people will come out and start voting, and they might start messing shit up. Electing the wrong people. You know, wrong is deemed by the power structure, not by the people per se. You know it's true. You know it's true. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate. Hey, good morning. Good to see you, Deborah. Good to see you. Welcome. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. The wifey brought me some tea. I thought she was mad at me. She stayed mad at me. You know what I'm saying? She stayed mad at me. Not really. Not really. Drop writes, good morning, Choppers. What is the latest data out from Rasmussen, which is biased, reports has black support as high as 42% overall among likely voters, with 29% strongly approving. 1 year ago today, Rasmussen had Trump polling at 21% approval among black voters. Support has doubled in the past year. Really? I don't believe it. You are silly, man. I'm looking. It's funny. Greatest president ever. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if the president retweets Drop one day, because Drop is trying real hard. I'm going to retweet this on Twitter. All my Twitter fam. If we're connected on Twitter, I just retweet. You can check it out. I'm on Twitter at Nathan from Cincy and CINCY. And I would not be surprised. Drop is trying to get Trump's attention so bad. Why didn't you, breaking news. That is hilarious. You got shades on. Man, nobody believes Rasmussen. I don't believe for 1 second that Trump has 42% approval among black folks. I don't believe that for a second, man. Nobody believes that. Where? Where they do that at? In what country? 42% approval rating among African Americans. Come on, man. That's not true. Man, where you getting this information from, man? Who you think that is? Where are you getting this information from, Drop? Did Rasmussen call anybody in this room? Anybody listening? Rasmussen is the name of a polling service. I don't believe it. I can't believe that Drop believes it. But let's see what's on his mind this morning. Good morning, Drop.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy, and all the beautiful people in the greater Cincinnati area, as well as the Chop Shop. Thank you for taking my call and allowing me to be the first voice that the ears of Cincinnati are listening to. This is your West Side Connection, Drop Squad 52. How are you, Mr. Ivy?
I'm great.
Well, it's kind of amazing how you automatically discredit Rasmussen, but you believe there's a conspiracy to kill Kobe Bryant and 7 and 8 other people. Mr. Ivy, all you got to do is trust but verify. Mr. Ivy, you can laugh if you want to, but there is no agenda for Rasmussen Report to put out those numbers of likely black voters. These are all voters that are registered, and Rasmussen has access to their phone number. So, Mr. Ivy, I would like to give a shout out to Pam. Hey, Pam, keep doing your vegan thing, girl.
Do you really believe that do you believe the Rasmussen poll? You believe that?
The reason I believe it, Mr. Ivy, is because we have a track record. We can go back to the day when Donald J. Trump at a rally said, "What do you have to lose?" So from that date to this date, Mr. Ivy, if you put your little fingers to work on that keyboard, you will see the trend line steadily going up and up and up. Just like the number of black faces at Donald Trump rallies across this country, the numbers are going up and up and up. Just like the anti-Democrat websites and social media sites and Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts are going up and up and up. Now, Mr. Ivy, you can sit here and discount it, but you are talking on your show, in your monologue. One of your topics is registration at the DMV. Now, Mr. Ivy, whenever the desperate Democrats talk about registration and talk about voting 8 months out from the election, Mr. Ivy, what happened to all this energy and enthusiasm from 2018 when the desperate Democrats took back control of the House, but they could not control the Senate? Mr. Ivy, the track record is there. There are African Americans, black, Negroes, people of color, colored people out there in America that are under age 50 that are not feeling the direction that the Democrat Party is trying to take the Democrat voter. They're not feeling it, Mr. Ivy. You have a old-ass white guy who was the vice president of the first black president, who that first black president will not endorse. I mean, Mr. Ivy, I can go on and on. You got old, crusty Uncle Bernie, who is the only one that can get the young black vote, because Sleepy Joe Biden only getting the old Negroes like Glenn from Mason, a.k.a. Lenny, a.k.a. the Chop Shop Overseer. Now, Mr. Ivy, let me clear my throat. And I just have to ask you a question, Mr. Ivy.
What's that?
Do you trust but verify me? Yes, you do. Because every time when I come on here dropping science, you don't have to catch it. You can get out of the way. But there is a thing called collateral damage. And if you are in the vicinity of Drop Squad 52 dropping science, you may not be able to avoid the effect. So, Mr. Ivy, before I go, I just want to say one thing. Why are the desperate Democrats in the impeachment trial of the 45th president, after 7 days of the trial in the Senate, why are the desperate Democrats on their knees begging please for 4 Republicans, not 20, that it takes to remove him, which is their intent when they brought the impeachment articles? Why are the desperate Democrats on their knees begging, please, 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 Republicans, please help us get some witnesses? Mr. Ivy, it is pathetic how the Democrats are showing America how desperate they are to remove the first orange president, a.k.a. the first gangster president. Drop Squad 52. Dropping science. Where you at, Mason Muller? Let the stables open. Let the horses out, because here come the overseer. Dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace.
I'm on the fence about dropping them. About racking him. I'll rack him for his enthusiasm. He gave it a good try. It's a really good try. I will give him that. But don't nobody believe that bull. No one believes that. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is in terms of the impeachment. We'll see what happens together. So if you remember, TMZ was criticized because they didn't contact the family and they put out the reports that people had died and Kobe had died. And while they got it right about Kobe, they got it wrong about Rick Fox. They got it wrong about Rick Fox. Rick Fox. You might remember Rick Fox used to play with the Celtics. Then he played with the Lakers. And I think he was on the team when Kobe was like a young buck. And it was initially reported that he was on the helicopter. And people are thinking like, well, damn, he knows Kobe, so maybe he was on the helicopter, right? Remember this? But he wasn't on the helicopter. Now, can you imagine his family? The word that comes to mind is traumatized. I bet they were traumatized when they got that information. Like, what in the hell? Now, if any family has a legitimate gripe, it's Rick Fox family. Because initially it was reported that he was on, then right afterward it came out that he wasn't on the helicopter. Now, can you imagine the type of, like, I don't know, text messages and stuff that he was getting? And I know he has children. I bet they were frantic. Like, what's up with my dad? What's up with my dad? Because you knew there was a helicopter crash and you knew that somebody died. And, you know, I don't think it was a big leap to think that maybe he had some teammates that, you know, Kawhi Leonard came out most recently within the last 24 hours and said that, you know, he had ridden in a helicopter with Kobe's pilot and vouched for the guy in the whole 9 yards. Here's Rick Fox.
This moment, I don't wish it on anyone. This moment has been overwhelming for all of us. First and foremost to the families that were lost. Obviously, their lives have been turned upside down. To our brother Kobe and his family, Vanessa, Natalia, Bianca, Capri, we send our prayers and condolences. My family went through, in the midst of all of this, something I couldn't have imagined them experiencing. I spent time talking to my kids for about 45 minutes as this was all happening, and our colleague Jared Greenberg brought to me the news that morning, and he asked by text if I had heard of the story, and I said, the shoes that Kobe gave LeBron, and Kobe passed him last night, and he said no. He said, this is, you need to sit down. And he texted me the article, and I went into full-blown denial. And fortunately, one of my daughter's greatest fears is finding out that a parent or one of her parents would be lost through social media instead of from a loved one or a family member. And she fortunately called me, and we just were talking and crying about the news of Kobe and my son. And then we started, so we were talking. I was talking to my kids, just trying to spend the time with them. And then the phone just started going off. And I'm thinking to myself, everybody wants to talk about Kobe. And I right now want to be with my kids and my family. And then all of a sudden, my best friend, King Rice, who's a basketball coach, King, Kenny, North Carolina.
I'll tell you the story between King and K.
Okay, he walked off the court at Iona, and somebody apparently told him that I may have been on the helicopter, and he started calling. So I'm seeing King's number, repeatedly going and going and going, and I think he's worried about me. So I said, I'm going to talk to my best friend, and I answered it, and I said, hey, man, it's crazy about Kobe, and he just was bawling. And I started crying, and he was like, you're alive. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, like, what do you mean? And it was in that moment that my phone just started going, and my mom and my sister and my brother. And so, look, this has been a lot to process for all of us. Quite frankly, we're blessed to have had the time we had with Kobe. A city is mourning, a family's mourning, we're all mourning, and I'm glad that's over with, but it was hard to deal with because it shook a lot of people in my life.
I know, Derek, we want to get to you, but our connection with the Tar Heel family first. Rick, when he was a freshman, used to come to Sacramento and stay with me.
You raised me, man.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Basketball camps.
So, somebody just like, man, you're alive. Thought he was dead. And I bet his family was relieved. I bet they were very relieved. But again, if anybody, just think about the anxiety they went through. They probably started mourning. And you never know, somebody might do something to themselves. I want to be with Rick, and I don't say that to make fun of it. I'm just saying you never know how people might react in and they hear this somebody that they love passed away. You never know. They might do anything, right? Just acting out in that pain. Not a good thing. Never a good thing. Man. But I'm glad the brother's okay. Man, that's tough. That's really tough. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think? Let's go back. Let me catch up here. Okay. Good morning, Chop. I see Sister V's in the house. Tracy writes, hi. Black Russia writes, Kawhi shared the same helicopter pilot as Kobe. He said Kobe got him hip to riding in a chopper to beat the traffic. Yeah, that is very true. Let Kobe and his family rest in peace. Absolutely. Kelly writes, good morning. Sounds like we got leverage, Drop. What's Trump going to do for us? More than money, Drop. And it's not this or that. It's this and that. Sister V writes Hotep, then a lip emoji. Good to see you. Free game. If you ever need to make a tough decision, flip a coin. While the coin is in the air, you already know what side you want. Mike Davis, the answer to your question is jobs, jobs, jobs. It's the economy, stupid. Not calling you stupid, Mike D. Clue Magic writes, the Cheeto using his African Americans over there to pass out $300 to $600 is hilarious. I hope they spend his cash and still not vote for his ass. Basically, he is saying, take these little crumbs, vote for me, or don't vote at all, and I'll screw you over later. Thanks. Yeah. Trump's got, he's passing out dollars. Yeah, he's just going to literally pay off the black vote. Like, literally. Like, pay the individuals that go to the meetings. Yeah. And, I guess this is what his black supporters, his African Americans over there told him to do. So you don't have to deal with them like legitimately. Just throw them some crumbs and they'll go for it. I read that Trump is passing out stacks. Like Trump and his friends are passing out stacks. Okay, I see you, fast pitch. Good morning to you. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's great news. Great news. Good morning, Judge Trotter. Good morning to you. It's beautiful. See here, director. Oh, yeah. And some news over the last 24 hours. There's a brand new CEO at the United Way. Brand new CEO at the United Way. And it is not a person of color. The new CEO of the United Way she's known here in the city of Cincinnati, white female. Her name is Moya Weir. And she was running Hamilton County Jobs. She was or is the current director of Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services. So she goes from running Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services to now being the new CEO of the United Way. And something tells me she's not going to run into the same racial issues that the brother before her did. Something tells me that the white female mafia are not going to come for her. They'll probably get in line. They gave the brother all kind of issues. He had to leave. But again, I've never heard anything negative about Moya Weir. So I've only heard good things. So we shall see. That's a big time job. The former CEO was making like $400,000 a year to be the CEO of the United Way. Damn. That's what we doing out here in nonprofit world. And there's still a lot of question marks about the United Way. I don't know if City Council and Tamaya Denard has brought this up, but there were some questions about whether they should continue in a role given to them by the city in terms of doling out and making decisions about who gets the money in terms of nonprofits here. Once again, are the nonprofits, the many nonprofits that reside and take taxpayer dollars, are they actually delivering for their so-called, audience, for their so-called constituents, for the people they're supposed to be serving? And are they doing it efficiently? Yes, United Way. Let me go to the United Way's website because, I've been doing this for some time, just going to their website because I've been, in particular, interested in this new hire. We knew that. I thought that perhaps Ross Meyer would get the job. Did Ross Meyer interview for the job? If he did interview for the job and didn't get it, how much longer is he going to stay there? Quite interesting. You live in Cincinnati. How effective is the United Way? Straight up. Let's get straight to it. Like, how effective is the United Way? Do you think they overall are doing everything they can? And Ross Meyer was the interim CEO. So does he now go back and become the VP of Community Impact? Is that what happens? I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Keep your eyes on the United Way. How effective is the United Way? Are they doing everything they can? Could they be doing more? Smarter folks than me can answer that question. Camera is talking to Fame. Tracy writes, leave Tracy alone. You sound like Lil Boosie. Somebody put the word out on social media that Lil Boosie had an interaction with everybody's favorite George Zimmerman, right? Everybody's favorite human. And then Lil Boosie put out a video saying, well, y'all just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Damn. I don't know this man. Ain't seen this man. Miss Tiffany writes, I'm in a lot of those vegan vegetarian groups on Facebook. Plenty of great recipes there as well. That's great. That's great. You know, it's funny. I just came across an article like a couple days ago that was in like, I don't know where it was, the Griot. And essentially what they said is that, you know, black folks are going vegan. Black folks are into, healthier lifestyles more than ever before. You know, people are being more conscious across the board in terms of what they're eating. Plus, we got better science. So people, when you know better, you do better, hopefully. Okay, that's great. That's great. Cam writes, good morning, peace, Nathan, and all the real nakers in the chop shop. Thank you very much. Fame writes, fuck healthy eating. You can get 8 hours of sleep and eating everything, Dr. Sebi said. That won't save you from pilot error riding in a helicopter. Eat, drink, and be merry. Plus, all the people I see talking about how dangerous the food supply is big as fuck. Common sense says don't eat bats like these Chinese people. The fuck, he writes. I reject a lot of it. What you just said there. I reject a lot of it. I just disagree. I reject it. Mason Mahler writes, the majority of black Americans are more interested in voting in the 2020 presidential election than they were in 2016. According to a national survey of 1,200 black voters and non-voters conducted by the Third Way and the Joint Center. Black Americans' increased motivation to vote next year stems from an intense opposition to President Trump and a belief that he has been a disaster for our country. And we need to do everything we can to vote him out. According to the survey, most respondents say they believe Trump's election has emboldened people with racist views to express them publicly. Their second most common motivating factor, voting is the best way to make your voice heard in our government, according to the survey. Yeah, things done changing. Things done changing. And so if that's true, is it also true that 42% of black Americans support Trump? There's no way. I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. My barbershop poll is more credible than Rasmussen. You know what, Mike? I will take your barbershop poll. Real people, you know what I'm saying, keeping it real in a barbershop. Mason Marley writes, there is no way in hell 42% of black people support Donald Trump. Drop got caught lying again. No, I don't think he's lying. I mean, I looked it up. Rasmussen did put out that poll, but they manipulate the poll in a way to get a conclusion that they want. You know what I'm saying? They arrive at the conclusion at the beginning of it. And what Rasmussen does makes all polls look bad. Just like what a few taxi drivers did made all taxi drivers look bad. Like, polling is a science if it's done correctly. And you can predict, at least in that instance, how people, it's a snapshot, how people think. You can make projections that are scientifically based if it's done right. But you can manipulate the methodology to arrive at your conclusion, and that's what they do. That's what Rasmussen is famous for that. That's why nobody takes him serious except for conservatives, because that's what their bias is. You know what I'm saying? What I would suggest people do is go to a website called Real Clear Politics, and what they do is they compile all of the different polls, and you can sit back and look at commonalities, trends, decide who you think is more credible, you know, as you look at them side by side. I would not go to Rasmussen no matter what they say. And see, the other thing about it, you always got to sprinkle in some sugar in the shit. So while they're biased and on some of their polls, they will like skew the methodology to arrive at their preconceived conclusion. What they'll also sprinkle in is some polls in which the methodology is more unbiased, just to throw you off, just so people know that. So don't get it twisted. We see all the games. Man, Drop be riding hard for these guys, though. Be riding hard for them. I mean, okay, B. People are dragging Dr. Umar Johnson to hell and back. They dragging his ass to hell and back for his comments about his so-called Kobe Bryant theory. His theory is that Kobe was murdered, basically. He says he was murdered, or he implies strongly that Kobe was murdered by some pharmaceutical company or some other financial interest. Or maybe it was just the Illuminati. This motherfucker said Illuminati. Now, why would I send my kid to your school and you saying shit like this? I don't feel comfortable, man. I think it's a bad look. You know, I never thought until this moment that something was going on with the FDMG Academy until just this moment. Because to me, if I'm running a serious academy where I'm seriously invested in the education of black boys, I'm not talking about no goddamn Kobe Bryant theories and then asking you to donate. Because one has nothing to do with the other. So, I mean, you know, or maybe this is just, you know, digital media these days. It's YouTube these days. But I don't know. That throws me off a little bit. That throws me off just a little bit. Let's see. This is quite interesting. Let me post this inside the Chop Shop because many of you live in the greater Cincinnati area. And I know that this is something that you might be into. And that's a link to the article about the new CEO of the United Way. Was there any way in hell that that a black person was going to become the CEO of the United Way? I mean, it's just less controversial if they got a white person there. If you got a black person there, everybody's going to be looking to see if something racist jumps off. You know what I'm saying? People going to be looking to see, you know, what's really going on. I don't know. Very interesting. Again, I've never heard anything negative about Moya Ware or Myra Ware. So I guess that says great things. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Doing excellent, friend. What's going on, man? Welcome.
Oh, nothing. Get some reverb and whatnot, so it's throwing me off. But I don't know how you're going to just reject my whole deposit. You know, the guy who came up, the doctor who came up with the idea of running for heart health, he died of a heart attack while jogging. You know, when it's your day, it's your day. You know, like Shannon Sharp said, his grandmother said, there's one appointment you can't miss. You can't reschedule.
I mean, that's true, but that's not really the point, though.
Yes, it is. Eat, drink, and be merry. You think Kobe Bryant was not eating healthy and still working out a little bit?
Yeah, as he should have been.
It's time to go. When it's time to go, it's time to go.
Okay.
And you ain't got no method of control over it.
So you're saying, So you're saying that eating unhealthy and not working out and excess of drugs doesn't have an impact on your body and your long-term health and survival?
Yes, but if that's your natural inclination and
then
that's what makes you happy,
there's no but. There's no but. It's just yes. You're right. So yes. So you should always be trying to live your best life and your longest life. I mean, hell, you can get hit by a bus tomorrow. That's unexpected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be.
And Dr. Sealy's diet ain't going to help you. When that bus ruptured your spleen.
It may not, but you should always be trying to live your best, longest life. Don't you think?
Yeah. No, of course you should. What I'm saying is, but if it's your natural inclination to be a slob, you know, if you ain't got a workout gene in you, if the vegetarian lifestyle is stressing you out, then just be you. You ain't got to try and keep up with people. You know, you ain't got to, you know, do you. Go up there if you want to make fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have at it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you should. You know, I'm not. Nobody's saying you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You know, do what you like. It's all about how you do it. Do you do it in excess? Because too much of anything can be bad for you.
I ain't never seen Jack LaLanne talk about what to eat. All I've seen him do is show you how to work out.
But you say you shouldn't even work out, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, you should do a little something to get, to
Oh, you
keep
should do
some
a
of the
little something.
pounds off.
Oh, okay. Why would you want
Working
to do
out,
that?
but eat what you want to eat.
Why would you want
But
to do
eat
that
what you want to eat.
die in a helicopter crash tomorrow? I don't know. I reject your deposit, man.
I ain't trying to see none of the choppers on my 600-pound life. You understand me? But if you want to be on my 350-pound life, I'm good with that.
That's good to know. We'll fold that up and put it in our back pocket for later. But man,
that's a whole nother person. That's a whole nother person between my 600-pound life and my 350-pound life.
Right. Well, I think common sense and just the trends we see today is rejecting all of that. Because people are more cognizant of like what the ingredients are, what kind of meat they're eating, the effects of eating meat, because they want to live a good, long life. They want to be as healthy and live as long as they can. You know what I'm saying?
There have been fad diets on since we were kids, Nathan.
Nah, this ain't fad diets,
you about
though.
my same age.
Nah, this ain't fad diets, man. This is a change in our culture and the mentality that people have. There's this shift.
That whole culture's been there. What the hell you think was infomercials about the Thigh Master about? Working out. They've been telling us this for 20, 30 years. Ain't nothing gonna change. People over in China over there eating bats. Dead bats that are fried and sauteed. Like, what the hell is y'all problem? That's what's causing people to get sick. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. Just watch what you eat. That's all. And watch how much of it you eat. But eating a bat is just totally out of the question. How you gonna bring me a bat with some wonton soup under it?
Different cultures, man.
I can't go. I can't go.
If you was brought up in that culture, you'd be eating bats right now.
Well, okay. Yeah, and I wouldn't be complaining about a coronavirus or whatever you say it.
I think that's how you say it.
Sick, you're eating flying rabies. They eating flying rabies, rabies on a stick. That's how people getting sick. And ain't got nothing to do with people just being generally unhealthy. There's some big heavy people that they're just fine out there. No diabetes, no high blood pressure. I'm like, I work out a little bit. I gotta still regulate my blood pressure. You're 450 pounds, and you don't take one pill. Toenails ain't black or nothing.
Didn't I see a video of you? Didn't you post a video of yourself working out when you like swimming some laps or something like that? You put that on Instagram?
Yeah, I was working out.
So you can work out, but nobody else should work out. I get it.
I told you I have to regulate my blood pressure.
Why? You might die tomorrow. What you regulating your blood pressure for? What? Why are you doing that? You telling me you take blood pressure medicine?
Yeah.
Shame on you.
43 years old.
What a hypocrite. Shame on you. You're not even living up to your own code, man.
I don't take it enough. I don't take it as much as I should.
But why are you taking it when you should live life carefree? You might die tomorrow, the helicopter crash. Isn't that what you said when you first called in?
So the people that love me will stay off my back about it.
Oh.
I do it to appease them.
Oh,
I don't care. I could drop dead right now before I hang up this phone call.
Okay.
I lived a great life.
Okay. Well, maybe that's why everybody else is doing it. So give them the same latitude to get the people in their life off their back.
No, but if a medical doctor ain't telling you, prescribing you these diets and whatnot, these nutritionists, don't be taking stuff off of Facebook. If you're going to Facebook for life advice, then you've already lost in the game.
Man, Facebook is a lane for communication. There's people getting life advice on multiple levels on Facebook and Twitter.
You need nutrition advice from social media. You've already lost.
That's
just
ridiculous.
Hang it up now.
That's ridiculous.
Just go jump into the Ohio River and let that benzene tear you up.
Ridiculous. I reject that
Come
too.
On now. No, I of course you will. You reject everything I say, but I'm right.
No, actually, I don't reject everything you say. I give you credit when you make sense, and when you don't, I tell you. And on today's call, I guess I appreciate your opinion, but I reject it. I think you're out there today.
Have some incidents. I'd rather have some Entenmann's donuts than to go jogging. I mean, you got those workout grunts like Bunky. I see he done entered back into the chop shop. He'll workout grunt. That's all he does. Me, I ain't with all that.
Well, how come it can't just be that? Just do you instead of trying to tell other people what they should be doing. Just do you.
I'm not trying to tell them. All I said was just be yourself.
Okay.
Just be yourself. Just
Okay.
be yourself. If that ain't your natural inclination to work out, get swollen, buff or whatever.
You mean be
don't do
healthy?
it.
Don't work out and be healthy, but you're working out to be healthy.
I mean, okay then. So if this whole, what's going to take for black folks to get healthy is a paradigm shift, like I've been telling you since last year, a mental paradigm shift. You're done with the greens and all that kind of crap that we eat, the slave food, especially the pork. We got to get rid of that pork.
Greens is a great source. Greens is actually, and depending what you put in it, is actually a great food.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. You're exactly right. When you douse it with ham hocks.
Nah, I don't put ham in my food.
And all that
I don't eat ham.
Stuff. Yeah.
I don't eat ham.
That's what the lady was down there. That's what the lady was down there on the river selling. That's why she couldn't get no business to pay her taxes.
Are you talking about mahoganies?
Slave food. Yes, she was selling stuff that'll get you sick.
Stuff that'll get you sick. You mean like fish and chicken and potatoes?
Yes, fried chicken, old starchy high carb food that get you nice and sick, up in the hospital, get your legs cut off in about 10 years.
Yeah, if you're eating it every day. If you're eating fried food every day, yeah. But like I said, it's everything in moderation. If you like some fried fish and you otherwise healthy, enjoy you some fried fish every once in a while.
Ain't that part of the common black person's diet? Pretty much fried food 5 out of 7 nights.
And that's what I'm telling you, is that our perception of the common black foods diet is changing. Black people are more health conscious.
No, it's not.
I believe it is.
No, it's not.
I believe it is.
I don't think it is. That's what I'm saying. You need to corral everybody and say, listen, we're done with this. And there's still gonna be some people like, no, I want my whatever, my pig's feet, and that type of thing. But moving on, because we can agree to disagree. Dr. Umar, yeah, that was kind of tacky to kind of slide in his, starters ran off about Kobe and then, transition into his academy, because he was on live yesterday for about 4 or 5 hours. Talking, because he was at the actual building where it's supposed to go, the actual campus.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 buildings. One of them is the Frederick Douglass High School. The other one is the Marcus Garvey Elementary Middle School.
Do you think he's on the up and up about his academy?
You know what? Something this needed and necessary. I'm going to take him at his word on it. I'm going to take him at his word on it, because I would hate to think going into something like that somebody's trying to play me. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give him the benefit
I do know
of
what
the
you
doubt
mean.
on it.
Yeah, because that's been my attitude. I'm going to think positive about it. But it was just something about the way he linked, the promotion of it to this Kobe video that put a little chink in the armor for me. I'm not saying I don't, think he's on the up and up. I'm like, that's a weird, that's not a good association to make. Like if I'm running an academy, I don't make those two connections. I'm not talking about a Kobe video and then ask people for donations to my academy. You know what I'm saying? Right. One has nothing to do with the other. It didn't give me a lot of confidence.
It's just, like I said, if he or anybody else had something like that going on around here, I'd be the first to be in line to help him.
Right.
However I could.
Right.
Inside the building on a daily basis. You know what I mean? For free. I wouldn't even expect pay. Whatever you got extra, you can sprinkle me, but I'm not expecting a regular paycheck from this. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on that school until he proves otherwise. because when they pressed him about how come he hadn't had a school building, boom, he bought a building, down in Delaware, right across the river from Philly, where he's from. You know what I'm saying? And he's got to find a state with the right charter school rules and everything. So there was a lot going into that. So that's why like I said, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
But yeah, man, that's all I got, B. I will holler at you at a future moon. Oh!
Okay. Appreciate the call. I'm going to post a link for you. You can check it out for yourself. This was in the Griot. This article was in the Griot maybe 2 days ago. And check this out. It's all about veganism in America is becoming more black. And apparently the hip hop community is paying attention to it, or hip hop in terms of the music industry. In a recent Gallup poll that focuses on American consumers' meat consumption habits, whites report eating 10% less meat, while people of color say they're eating 31% less meat. Like all the black folks that I know are on some health shit. I mean, they're doing what they do, but they're working out. The conversations I'm having inside my house with family and friends, it just seems like people are much more on that, on alternatives to meat. I'm seeing more and more books from people of color, black females in particular, writing about vegan lifestyles, blogs and things like that. So I hear what you're saying, Fame, but I think those attitude, we need to change our perception of what traditional black cuisine is. Because black folks are eating all kind of different stuff. All kind of different things. And there are a lot of black people that don't eat meat anymore. Strictly on the plants, which is healthy as hell. Have you ever go a week with no meat, nothing processed, just get you some plants, beans, grains, things like that? You'll feel better in a week. You'll feel more energized and less full. That's how you'll feel. I mean, there's athletes out there that go vegan. Cam Newton, vegan. Kyrie Irving, more vegan. Because people want to live their best life as long as they can, right? Man, you want to live as long as you can, as long as you're healthy and cognizant. And can still have sex. Can still enjoy food. That's what you want to do. Tell me I'm wrong. And you got a lot of hip hop figures that have gotten involved in the vegan business. Here's an article in the Washington Post. The fastest growing vegan demographic is African Americans. Let me post this for you as well. Just so we can all be on the same page. Ray writes Tom Brady. Yep, Tom Brady. Telling you, the black folk, I know a lot of black folks who are getting away from the meat, have gotten away from the meat. As a member of the media who observe things, what I observe is more of vegan black. I see this primarily black vegan bloggers, people doing websites, shows around the vegan lifestyle. And as I said, I have an upcoming sponsor who has created an ebook with nothing but everyday vegan recipes. Everyday vegan recipes. And despite the rise of plant-based meat, for me, that plant-based meat, I need to know what it is. If it's just plants and somehow they make it into meat, have you ever tried it? I've seen it at Kroger. It's it looks like real meat. And there are, man, some incredible sort of if you eat frozen food, dinners, man, they got some great stuff out there. They got some great stuff out there, and I've tried a lot of it. And a lot of it, to me, I don't see a difference. I really don't. There's a bit, it depends on, it depends on how you season it, and there's different ways of dealing with it. You might want to get you some amino acids, right? Which is sort of like a soy sauce, replacement. less sodium, better for you, but still gives you that taste you might be looking for. Man, it's all kinds of ways out there. Man, get you a big old plot of fettuccine alfredo, you'll be smashing it. There's no chicken in it whatsoever, a chicken substitute. Yes. And in this particular article in the Washington Post, dated January 24th, which is just last week, what they say is that only 3% of Americans are vegan. But it's more than double that among African Americans. But I'm telling you, black folks are more and more paying attention to what they're buying, what they're ingesting. They don't want to go out like Big Mama did. They ain't trying to go out like that. Back in 2016, the Pew Research Center, which I think is credible, they did a survey and they found that 3% of American adults overall identified as vegan and only 1% of Hispanic Americans. But that the number jumps to a startling 8% of African American adults. It's back in 2016. Yeah. So, we're leading in this way. In this way, we are leading. Sounds like there could be some opportunities there because black people are looking for healthy alternatives. We're going to outbreed you and we're going to outlive you. It is what it is. Jay-Z and Beyonce offered free tickets to their fans if they're vegan. Eight out of the 10 of the Wu-Tang Clan identify as vegans. Did you know that? I'm reading from this article. I just posted a link for you to check it out for yourself. So clearly, as I said earlier, black folks and the way that we eat is changing for a lot of people. I used to watch my grandfather eat nothing but meat. From the South, it's not dinner unless it's meat. Every pot of greens, they always put ham in it. Every pot of greens. I grew up eating that. So when I make my greens, I don't put ham in it. I put turkey in it. Or I find some other substitute. But primarily, I put like a turkey leg or something like that. It's incredible. Yeah. And everybody's on the turkey tip. But again, veganism is growing in the black community. And the proof is in the pudding. It just is what it is. Yeah, we ain't going out like that. Big Mama had her leg cut off. She had the gout. She had the diabetes. And it's like, damn, if you go back and watch that movie, and I'm not talking about the Martin Lawrence Big Mama, I'm talking about the Big Mama from the movie Soul Food. You go back and watch that movie, like the soul food was the center of the community. Of the family's, connection, which is not uncommon across the globe and has been through that through all ancient human cultures. The idea of eating and community go hand in hand. All right. But if you look at what they were eating, it was like fried this, fried that. It was not good. And then guess what? She done made some pie full of sugar, right? Then she ended up like, oh, everybody's sad when she ends up dying in the movie. I'll go ahead and spoil it for you because you should have saw it already. Stop being lazy. Catch up. Jay-Z has invested $1 million in the black-owned Partake Foods. They make vegan cookies. He's also in support of the whole Impossible Foods. These are the folks behind Burger King's Impossible Whopper. Man, you can go get yourself a non-meat Whopper. I've never tried it. I know at White Castles they've got Impossible Burgers. I've never tried it. I've never had, an Impossible Burger. What I have had are like plant-based burgers. And I have some that I don't like, and I've had some that once I saute it right, I get the seasoning right, then it's good. It's Gucci. But I think that's for two reasons. Number one, because it's healthier. Number two, because it's effing up the environment. That you're going to see more and more and more of this. And as I told you last year, you might already have, do you like salmon? How many people like salmon? Salmon. Whatever the fuck it is what it is. Say it any way you want to say it. But have you ever heard of the whole impossible salmon? Yeah. Clone salmon. They're cloning salmon out here. Yeah. And they're not going to be able, they don't have to put it, they don't have to put on the label that it's a cloned salmon. Yeah, because we got so many damn humans that we effing up the environment trying to feed everybody. So some scientists came together and said, you know what? If only we could clone salmon. And the name of the outfit is called Aqua Bounty. Aqua Bounty. And they raise these salmon like in the lab. And they raise them to be like 2 to 3 times bigger than a normal salmon. And it grows 2 to 3 times bigger than a normal salmon in like a third of the time that a normal salmon would mature. You know what that sounds like? Sounds like money. You making salmon out here? Who don't love some delicious salmon? Damn. And this was approved by the FDA back in 2008, but it's taking some time. But as I understand it, it's probably on American shelves this year. So just check it. So, Nate, are you saying Thanos was right and half the population needs to be eliminated? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That Thanos was right. He was right. Yeah, that's what the rich people are trying to depopulate it so they can enjoy the earth without us. So he's messing everything up. Yeah, it's not called, essentially it's called, that's what I call it, impossible salmon. But that's not what they call it. They just call it regular salmon. But the name, if you want to Google this, if you think I'm lying, just Google Aqua Bounty. AQ, like Aquaman, but Aqua Bounty, like, money or something. And it'll come up. You can look at it for yourself and you can see that they're doing incredible things, man. Science is going to save us or kill us. They're going to save us. They're probably going to kill us, then try to have to save us. And actually, just 3 days ago, they went public. You can buy some stock in Aqua Bounty, as a matter of fact. And some people are saying it's the worst investment in seafood, but I don't know. Get you some Aqua Bounty stock. It's just going to happen anyway, right? It's going to happen anyway. We're not going to stop this. They're not going to stop the money because we're a little squeamish about it. All right, I need to take a break. I am long overdue. We'll be right back after a few messages. Also, we'll catch up with the Bloomberg Urban Report, give you a sense of some national news, what's going on. Live, local, and vocal. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Don't go anywhere.
182?
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is going to help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth. A message from Truth, the Ad Council, and ONDCP.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning.
With the Bloomberg Urban Report, I'm Donna Wilson. Silicon Valley tech companies have something in common. It's lack of diversity. In 2019, Twitter reports 5.7% of its workers were black, 4.7% Latino. 3.8% of Google's overall workforce was Latino, while 2.7% were black. And Etsy says its black and Latino employees combined represent 11% of its U.S. workforce. Rapper and actor Tip T.I. Harris has partnered with the black-owned tech startup called Moolah Mobile. It's a free wireless service for low-income families. And this chicken company is expanding beyond its territory. Popeyes, the fried chicken chain, has released a limited edition clothing line. It features a collection of jackets, tops, and hats with similar branding to the uniform their employees wear. That's your Bloomberg Urban Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Live, local, and vocal. Broadcasting live from beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio, city of my birth. And my name is Nathan Ivey, your humble host. Of course, the show is brought to you by Sin Digital Media, a new urban voice in the city of Cincinnati. Check out our podcast, amplifying Black voices in the greater Cincinnati area. And good morning. Let's get back into it. That was interesting with the Bloomberg Urban Report there. That little report was interesting. Quite interesting. Props to T.I., man. Props to T.I. Appreciate it. The people, I'm sure, will appreciate it. They say these brothers never do anything to give back. Oh, yes, they do. We just don't want to support it. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want to recognize it. So this morning, we talked about numerous things. My apologies in advance for being a bit antisocial. We talked about numerous things this morning. If anything we've discussed you want to share your thoughts about, feel free to do so at 513-873-7134. Pam's in the house. Jerica writes, "Hola, beautiful Black people." Hey, good to see you, Jerica. Fame writes, "Fit people talk working out. Fat people talk about healthy eating plan. I'd rather work out." I don't know what the hell Fame is on this morning. No agenda of Rasmussen report, ? Everybody with a brain knows Rasmussen is a right-wing conservative pole. Just stop, drop. Clue Magic writes, "That ain't it, drop. I just know better than to take crumbs from someone who doesn't like me. He is using the same old ploy, using the same old bootlickers. Smart people aren't going for it."
Go! Get to the chopper!
I agree with him. Smart people ain't going for it. Or maybe they will go for it. Yeah, thank you for the post. Several people have posted inside the friends page. You know, I'm about to kick off a brand new page associated with the show. I'll tell you about real soon. Donald Trump's allies hand out cash to black voters. Who doesn't like cash? I mean, don't get all hypocritical like you don't like cash now. You know what I'm saying? If somebody say, you know what, they're going to be handing out cash at this meeting, would you go? Huh? Or if they just start passing out money, would you be upset? So it's all about the dollar bills, y'all. You know it. You know it. Stop fronting. Everybody likes cash. Everybody likes cash. So Trump is passing out cash at his meetings. And what's wrong with that? What's the problem with that? And Popeyes is launching a clothing line so you Negroes that love their chicken can buy the chicken and the clothes. It looks like prison garb. Motherfucker, I don't want to dress like the people that work at Popeyes. Popeyes is getting way ahead of themselves. Like, you know what? They love our chicken. They must love us as a brand. They love our brand, so we're going to hit them with that Popeyes chicken wear. Popeyes chicken has a clothing line. Shout out to Jesse. Good morning to you. Shout out to Lakeisha and Tracy and Lee and Pat and Lee. Thank you. And Glenn. Appreciate you all. Crystal. Eb G. Yeah, appreciate it. So now, so now they want to sell you chicken and some clothing. You can buy T-shirts, sweatshirts. Check out this headline. This is in CNBC, dated yesterday. Popeyes launches clothing line inspired by comparisons to Beyonce's Ivory Park brand. And so now you don't have to work at Popeyes to get the orange and maroon uniforms. T-shirts, sweatshirts, button-downs, and hats from That Look from Popeyes will be available while supplies last. Now, I want to talk about this because there's a lot of smart people here that can read between the lines. And I want you to read between the lines and tell me whether you think it's a black person or a white person behind this marketing. Like, who at Popeye said, you know what? They love our chicken. I read that all of the free advertising that Popeye's chicken got last year, well, with all of the free advice and not even advice, but all the free media that they got, that they actually, it was worth, somebody estimated that all of the social media posts and media and stuff that they got was worth about $62 million. So if you wanted to calculate how much, people criticize black people for doing this, but if you want to calculate how much money that, it was worth in total, all the free advertisement, because we talked about it. People were like, well, they could be using that for a black-owned business. In total, it was estimated to be worth about $62 million. And if I remember correctly, I think that Popeye's chicken, and I don't know, I read this somewhere and talked about it back when it was going on. I think they made like 30 to 40% more in the quarter last year than the year before that. So they made money. So now they're back to sell you T-shirts, sweatshirts, button-downs, and hats. And is there really a market for this? Is there really a market for this? And somebody connected So I'm looking at it now. Somebody named Angela Mack posted this on Twitter back on January the 17th. So this ain't necessarily new. And the color scheme is very similar to like Popeye's chicken. I'm talking about Beyonce. She has a line out called Ivy Park. And so somebody compared the two, and they do look very similar. It's the same color scheme. So I don't know if is there a market for this? Are people like, you know what? I wish they had some t-shirts because I'd rock them. Who came up with this? Is this anything disrespectful in this? And the reason why I say this is because I'm looking at the first images that they put out. And the first images that they put out, all of the models, all of the people in the image are African American. All of them are black. And there's like Popeye's chicken staged around. And like two dudes are doing like remember the Wonder Twins, going back to the Super Friends? It was two twins, like these alien twins. And like whenever they would like put their fists together, they could like activate their powers. There's two brothers wearing the Popeye's chicken. Matter of fact, let me post this in the Chop Shop and you can follow along. Because I don't want you to think that I'm making this up. You got to read this for yourself. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. Oh, shit. Sorry. Paste. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, so I just posted a link for you. You can check it out for yourself. So in this image, there's nothing but African Americans, nothing but people of color. It looks like young people, I don't know, teenagers, early 20s. And then in the background, you got these two brothers. They're smiling and happy. They got their Popeye gear on, and they're doing like the Wonder Twins, like connection. And then there's various other people who are just like laughing and happy and smiling. And they plan to sell this on a limited edition. It's going to be a limited edition. So it's two things going on. Like one, people are saying that they're trying to basically kind of infringe a bit upon Beyonce and her clothing line, which probably was inspired by it. And then secondly, it's like, do you really think that people are going to buy this? Do you think this is going to be a big seller? The limited edition Popeye's chicken? And why aren't there any white people in this particular? Because I mean, there's a Popeye's chicken that's in Clifton, right? Not too far from me. And when you go on there any particular night, you're gonna see black people, but you're gonna see a lot of white folks. Majority white folks there. It's right across the street from the University of Cincinnati. White folks love Popeye's chicken. So why are black people the face of it? Maybe it's because black people over us nationwide are their number one patron or either the number one worker. I don't know, but So we had the chicken war. Is this going to now spark the fashion? No, I don't see that happen. So is Chick-fil-A going to come out with their limited edition Chick-fil-A wear? I don't think there's a market for it. I don't think, a young person going to school with a Popeye's chicken sweatshirt is a good look. My daughter's 14. I have to ask her what she thinks about it. I don't think she's going to be down. But again, I could be wrong. I haven't asked her yet. I don't know. Just Google Popeye's clothing line and images. He said, yo, it's hella racist. Negroes brought sandwiches. Why not t-shirts and button downs? Right. That's the part that really gets to me, Tracy. Like, did somebody at Popeye's Chicken say, you know what, we got to do something? We had an incredible, second and third quarter, 2019. Maybe people love our brand so much, we need to be selling them t-shirts. You're only 20 years late with that. FUBU was out 25 years ago, boo. And like I said, why are black people all in this first ad? If you go to this Popeye's Chicken close to me, you're going to see majority white folks in there smashing. In fact, I can see white, again, maybe I'm wrong, but some tells me I can see white patrons adopting the clothing faster than black patrons. Like, do they think this is going to become a fad in the black community? Like, oh man, black youth got to get that Popeye's chicken limited edition t-shirt. I don't know. Part of it, to me, it feels demeaning. It feels, people are saying racist and intentional. It definitely feels demeaning. Sister V writes, Popeyes in Oakley Hyde Park too. That's another one, Sister V. If you go out to the Popeyes chicken, they got a drive-through out there. And you just sit and look at who's in the line. You're going to see nothing but white folks. Primarily, I say 90%. But the face of Popeye's chicken is black. What the hell? That's because they got that black woman with that good Louisiana recipe in the back, whipping up them good biscuits. Man, good spicy crust. I'm glad I didn't get a chicken sandwich now. The hell? Tracy writes, it's marketing 101, Nate. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Sort of like TMZ's Money Train. I don't think this is like TMZ's Money Train, but I understand why you're making that point. It has no. Beyonce said years ago that Popeye was her weakness. It could be a silent partnership. Jericho writes, you should be slapped if you wear chicken apparel. I mean, there's no point in my life in which I would ever have worn it. People say, well, you know, you're more mature when you get older. Yeah, that's true. But even when I was less mature, I never would have worn any Popeye's chicken wear. It ain't, that ain't happening. Unless I own the Popeye's chicken, then you know what I'm saying? If I'm the what do they call the franchisor, the franchisee? Okay, then I'm rocking it. Or someone that I know or something like that, if I work there. But outside of that, I don't think this taking off. And I'm looking at this image. Look at the image in the link I sent to you. They took this video like, oh, this is going to be cool. And see, the reason why all these people are smiling is because they're getting free shit. Number one, they got free t-shirts. They're getting free chicken. They probably getting paid. They probably want to be a model. That's why they're smiling. I don't fault these young people per se. I don't fault these models. They getting paid. She got a brand new jacket. They probably thinking, man, I'm going to ball out in these. This is my workout gear. He got some brand new orange Air Max. My man right here on the right got an orange Swatch watch. I ain't mad at him. They got some chicken. You know what I'm saying? Probably got unlimited, what's that, Popeyes? They probably got unlimited mashed potatoes and shit. So I'm not mad at them. I know why they're happy. Say, look, guys, anything you want at lunch, as much as you want, plus we giving you a check. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. I don't think this is going to work. I really, really don't. I don't. Not if it says Popeyes on it. You know, this one, she got Popeyes. It says, it reads Popeyes on the side of her sleeve right here on the right side. Nobody's going to school with Popeyes, you know, sewn into their sweater or their sweatshirt. They're just not going to do it. Now, if they took the Popeyes off, which now becomes a little bit like you lose the marketing vehicle aspect of it. But if you take that off and you come up with some little cool design, motherfuckers might rock that shit. But I don't see any black kids like, oh, I got some new school clothes. Man, they think we dumb, yo. Mahler writes, black faces at Trump's rallies are going up. They went from 2 to 4 African Americans over there, right? Not even that, because the number one original African American over there, he quit. He said, I don't want to be your lawn jockey anymore. Sorry. Don't do it. Mason Mahler writes, let's put it this way. The Chop Shop is a pretty good representation of the black community. Question, can we find 42% of choppers supporting Donald Trump? I rest my case. I don't believe it. I don't know what the number is, but it's certainly not 42% of African-American voters, likely voters, support Donald Trump. That would betray everything that I feel and see and hear. I just don't believe that. Kermir writes, Drop Squad 52 is lying. CNN says different. Trump is saying that African Americans are generally happy with his performance as president. And she's got a link. Let's follow it. It reads, fact check. No African Americans are happy with Trump. This was dated July 30th, 2019. See here. Let's see. Between July 25th and 28th, Trump had a 6% approval rating and 84 disapproval rating with black voters. 80% of black voters said Trump is racist, while just 11% said he is not. This is, again, take it from what the time slot is. It's going back to July 30th, 2019. Thank you for the post. I mean, it's clear that Drop is misinformed. It's very, very clear. Brother Muzone writes, Popeyes would waste their investment if they knew it wouldn't be a market for them. They done their research and know black folks are America's biggest consumers of dumb shit. Let's be honest. Oh, man, I hope you're wrong about that, Brother Muzone. I really do. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. J-Dog Mac writes, yo, that's hella racist. Just Google Popeye's clothing line and images. No white people or even Mexicans. Right, it's all black. I know there's black people that work at Popeyes because I've seen them. Jesse writes, I think it's going to sell out. I hope it doesn't sell out. I don't. I do. For the conversation and like, who's buying this? I think they'll probably end up like on homeless people. Like they're going to filter through the tracks and end up in some bin somewhere, in some donation bin. And you'll see homeless people, unfortunately, wearing Popeye's chicken wear. Tell me I'm wrong. That's what I guarantee it this summer. Shit. In a month, in 3 or 4 weeks. Watch. Bunky writes, we were wearing Coke clothes, M&M jackets, now chicken hoodies. Nigga shit. Huh. We were wearing Coca-Cola clothes. You're right about that. M&M jackets. People did wear the M&M jackets. I didn't. I can't lie and say I didn't have a Coca-Cola like sweater. I think I did. It was dope too. Chicken hoodies. It's just something about the chicken. That particular animal in the black community, I'll consume it. But in terms of rocking a chicken joints logo, that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about the chicken. That's what it's all about. But you're right about that, Bunky. Bringing up old shit, making points out here. Cassandra writes, and they low-key biting off Beyonce's clothing line. I guess it's a knockoff of Ivy Park for poor people. I mean, they can say, people sell all kind of T-shirts. You can buy a T-shirt with anything on it. You can make your own T-shirts. So I get it. They're selling T-shirts. I'm not mad at them. Let them do their thing. But let's just say this. Let's just agree to this. Okay, let's see who's the first person to see somebody actually wearing it in public. Okay, homeless or otherwise. And if you see this, just report back. I hope I don't see it. Mason Muller writes, a green Coca-Cola shirt got me arrested. Fane Rossing writes, Popeye's clothes make me think of Biggie. Give me all the chicken heads. Jesse writes, it's for the kids, Nathan. But for a kid to get that, more than likely the parent is buying it. What black parent is walking into Popeyes like, you know what, let me get 2 chicken sandwiches and let me get a T-shirt and a hoodie? I just don't see it. I mean, you'll see it there and there, just as for laughs. Like somebody will buy it and just laugh. You'll do some kind of crazy YouTube video or something like that, some irreverent YouTube video. I can see that. But to put it on and go work out it in or take it to school, I don't see it happening. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm right. Heavy D and the boys rock Coca-Cola gear and made it very popular. Anyone remember? Yes, we do. Bringing up old shit, making points. I mean, bringing up old shit and making points. Coca-Cola is not chicken, though. Tanika writes, Eastgate Popeyes was full of white folks. Not too many blacks out there. Fame writes, fuck it. If I can get a hoodie and 2X on Popeyes, I'm getting it. You know what? I'm not surprised that you say that, man. But I will believe it when I see it. TNT writes, Tanika, we need to write a book about the hell of being sheltered by old-time religion. JD Mack writes, or J-Dog Mack writes, personally, Popeyes is mad that a black person used their clothing idea. It's like taking shit or getting back in black people and competing with Beyonce. I just don't see, I don't see, I guess. I'd love to know who brought this up at Popeyes. Like, who was the marketing genius to say, you know what, we should get us a limited edition clothing line? And you know, it's just really a tester. They're saying limited edition, but if they sell out, they're going to be giving you all the time edition. Well, at least we'll know who the smart people are. We can tell by the clothing, by the Popeyes chicken. You know what I'm saying? That's the mark of the beast. Bunky Rice said, Nate almost said butter biscuits. I did. Faye Rice, she just won't let the team shit go. She will not. She just will not. Tracy is just, she's strong-willed, and that's how she feels, and it is what it is. I get it. I respect it. I just respectfully disagree. I respectfully disagree. You know, I feel as if, like I said, TMZ, that's what they do. They do the celebrity thing. It's marketing. I think I read it already. It's marketing 101. Popeye's clothing will cause further bullying. Yeah, I mean, you see some kids show up with some Popeye's clothing, like really, really rocking it. Some kids might, you know, make a joke out of it. Other kids will be like, so what? Brother Mazone writes, I had an RC Cola sweatshirt was too poor for a Coca-Cola sweater growing up. You had an RC Cola sweater? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Mason Marler, I love to hear the story about how a green Coca-Cola shirt got you arrested. Don't blame the shirt. Don't blame the shirt. Listen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me look at my time here. Yeah, just a couple minutes left here in the show. Really appreciate you being here. Or Honey Biscuit. That's hilarious. Popeye's cologne coming soon. It's Mike Davis. Well, so next, I don't know if it'll be cologne, but it might be, you know, your Popeye's jewelry. Get you some fake Popeye's jewelry. Get your little Jesus piece to wear over your sweater. You know what I'm saying? They might do a collab with Under Armour. Do a little collab with Under Armour. Get you some Popeye's, shoes. I ain't mad at them. I ain't mad at all. If people buy it, they buy it. They buy it, I buy it. Who knows? It might even turn into a novelty or something like that. J-Dog Mac writes, they need to not look stupid with just Popeye's logos on it, right? They ought to hand a butter biscuit that says, butter my biscuits and other bids. LOL and other puns. That's hilarious. My African Americans over there. Strictly from Popeyes. Popeyes wear will be donned heavily in the inner cities in Africa. Africa, I can see that. Inner cities, I don't see it. I hope not. I think eventually it'll end up like at the Free Store Food Bank. It'll end up in some of these church donation bins, things like that, unfortunately, and in no joking way, you're going to end up see a lot of people, who are homeless, living in the elements, under some of the bridges, here in the city of Cincinnati. You get off the interstate highway and you're greeted not just by the light, but now you have to deal with this humans that's asking you for money, standing outside, looking so, broken with a sign. And, because of the cynicism and all the games, half the damn time you don't even believe them. Are you really homeless? How are you a World War II vet? You ain't getting no benefits? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not that far from the VA. And you out here asking for quarters under the I-71 exit ramp on Reading Road. You know what I'm saying? So you got to deal with that. And you can see those kind of individuals wearing it. And that's about it. I don't see it being big at the high schools. I don't see it. Susan V writes, well, let me go to work, y'all. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Listen, have an excellent day. I really appreciate you. I'll be back with you and better than ever tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. We'll chop it up. Until then, take care of yourselves, right? Stay focused. And remember, winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused, stay winning, and we'll talk real soon.